share this. All right. Hope you guys are well, happy, safe, and peaceful. For those of you who are coming in to the live. All right. Make sure that you guys FYP this for me as you come on in. Let's get some energy up in here, all right? Thank you so much for FYPing this. All right. Let me see. We are going to continue with our book, Vibrate Higher Daily. We are almost completely done with the book. We are going to talk a little bit about it even after it's. Thank you so much, Shanita, for trending this, viraling this, and all the other stuff you did. I appreciate that. All right, let's get the likes up so that we can get some more energy in here. All right. All right, you guys, happy Sunday. I hope that you guys are enjoying the new day, also the new month. Today is the 1st of June, and we are going to be going over, we're still reading the book, Vibrate Higher Daily, but we don't have that many pages left. We are on 174, and I feel like there's 210 or something like that pages in here. So between now and next Wednesday, we should be done with this book. I do want to go over a little bit of it with you guys at the end when we finish it so that you all can, for those of you who weren't in here from the very beginning, we can take a quick run through because we already have our next book picked out for us to be reading. All right. The next book is called Limitless Living, Limitless Thinking, Limitless Living, all right? So make sure that you guys, if you can find a copy of it, it's by Danette Crawford, all right? From what I understand, she's an international evangelist. She's a speaker. I think she was even a TV host at one point in time. I don't know if she still is. But I have read this book twice. It does reference the Bible a lot. However, I don't mind. I'm spiritual, so I don't care if it mentions the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, whatever. As long as it's something that is focused on the same energy that we're focused on, which is living life in a way that people don't usually live. The path less chosen, okay? So if you're interested in learning more, let's get these likes up in here, you guys. Know that this is the space where you can do this in. If you are a member of my team, please don't forget to send your daily heart me's. Please FYP this. Thank you so much for the follows. So the current book, again, if you're just coming on in, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome the fuck back. I do curse, so you may not like that. You may not like me. I don't care, okay? We're going over Vibrate Higher Daily, and we are on page 174. I do want to do a little bit of breath work with you guys to get y'all into a more centered, focused space at this time, all right? So you're focusing on you. This is about feeding you, feeding your soul, and feeding you the things that you need in order to vibrate higher daily. There are lots of things in our environment and around us that try to keep us on a low vibe state. And on this channel, this is a healing podcast. For those of you who are on a healing journey, you can also find us on Spotify and YouTube. Okay, so if you're interested in listening to past sessions that we've had, make sure that you follow us. The link is in the bio. All right. So let's get into this space, you guys, and let's breathe in, breathe out, breathing in. We're doing a little breath work just to get y'all centered and focused on yourselves, because I know there's 50 million other things that you have to do, but this time in here is about you and about your healing journey and about getting you into a space where you're just focused on you at this time. So if you are able, and if you're not driving or if you're not doing anything that can cause harm to you or anyone else, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for a moment. We don't do readings over here, Mandy. Okay? This is a totally different part of a different business that I run. So I thank you for being one of my subscribers that comes over from where I do readings, where I teach spiritual coaching and all that other stuff. I appreciate that, but I don't do any of that over here, okay? Not that it's not linked, because all of my businesses are linked to helping people heal their trauma. And I do appreciate you coming on over here, okay? So if you could close your eyes with me for a moment. We breathe in through our nose, using our diaphragm and not our chest. And we breathe out through our mouth for 6. We breathe in for 4 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth for 6 seconds, okay? So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allow yourself to feel that energy breathing in through your nose. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allowing yourself to feel the release of the negative energy and the inhale of the positive energy, okay? So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do it with me 2 more times. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, let's slowly open our eyes and come back to the room in which you are sitting, which you are standing, whatever you are doing at this time, okay? We're going to start getting back into our book, Vibrate Higher Daily, okay? But I really wanted you guys to focus on yourself at this moment. And when you do breath work, what it does is it gives your brain something else to think about besides all the other shit that you got to do when you're done on this live, okay? Because we all got things that we have to do. We all got things and places that we need to be at, and I get it. But right now, it's about you and focusing on you, your mental health, and your healing, because this is a podcast for a healing journey. So if you are on a healing journey and you want to learn more about vibrating higher daily and doing the limitless thinking and healing your trauma, you're in the right space, okay? Share me with someone. Follow me, okay? I do have other channels here. Some of you guys know that I'm a spiritual coach, that I'm a spiritual leader, a spiritual guide. I do have other channels. You can check those out. The links are in my bio, I believe, in my link tree. Or if not, I will make sure that they get there. But this is a healing podcast, you guys. So we're here talking about vibrating higher daily, reading the book from Lailah, Delia. We're almost done. We're on page 174. I'd still, even if you haven't been here since the beginning, I still implore you to go get the book. This helps you so much, even if you're new to your spiritual growth or your healing journey. It will allow you at different stages in your healing journey to be able to come back and reference this book and get you in a better mindset regardless, okay? All right. So what we're talking about is becoming a conduit for higher vibrations, or a vessel, okay? How do we stay dedicated to vibrating higher in a world that's imbalanced? And we read this already, but since it's been since like Wednesday, since we did, I want to go back over this part and move forward with you guys, all right? There is a way, and it's to be conduits or vessels of nurturing vibrations. We become conduits by using our light, voice, and unique gifts to channel empowering, healing energies that counterbalance the ways the world is being misled, wounded, emotionally triggered, torn apart, and underserved. We help the world atone where necessary, mend where necessary, improve where necessary, and eventually be restored to a higher functioning place. And with our awakening, we each can carry out our given supportive role in helping our communities and the greater world vibrate higher again and again. Our greatest progress throughout history has been led by awakened people who take on the roles of helper and responder, and become conduits or vessels for progress and change. All levels of contribution count and matter. We all have different paths to play and different ways to contribute. We can all make a difference in some way. Never underestimate the power of the gifts you carry. After awakening, reconfiguring, and living more deeply into vibrational awareness, you get it. You know firsthand the power and force of vibrations from both ends of life's spectrum and what they can do. No doubt about it, you've had to overcome some arduous things to gain this game-changing insight and power you now hold within. This is powerful and valuable, and it's vital that you recognize you've been initiated into taking your place in the world as a change agent. You now go into the world with the right amount of force and wisdom because you're fortified to do so. You know what raises and lowers vibrations, what gives people joy and nourishment, and also what promotes and advances further imbalance and wounds. And as the hero on this path, it's time now for you to become a conduit or a vessel in the greater world. Look back at what gave you good, healing energy. Then give it to others. And that's exactly what made me start Blossom and Grow. Blossom and Grow is my nonprofit organization, and this podcast is brought to you by Blossom and Grow, okay? This podcast was named Blossom and Grow, okay? But it was for the business that I started. Blossom and Grow was started because I myself am a survivor of several traumas, okay? Domestic violence, sexual assault, child molestation in my past, okay? Dealing with narcissistic family, all right? And I found different ways of how to heal myself. And as I started to learn these ways, the things that took hold of me and that really worked for me, because I tried different avenues, okay? Talking to therapists, I myself do therapy for people. I've been a social worker for over 20 years, for those of you who are new here. And as I myself realized through my clients that we were not addressing their issues, we were covering them up. We were patching them up. We were giving them the resources that they need, but we weren't helping them stay out of the situations that they constantly found themselves being in. And it made me realize, God made me realize, that I have been through some of these same things. And what did I need in order to help me not continue to go down those same paths? And so once I started realizing the things that I used to help me heal, that's when I created Blossom and Grow. God gave me the name for Blossom and Grow. God gave me the name for all of my businesses, which help people heal their trauma, okay? That's my specialty, is helping people heal trauma. And so this book she really talks about her story a lot. Her name is Delia, okay? And she talks about what she did in order to help heal her trauma. And that is what we're all supposed to do. Whatever God has given you a gift or talent in, or experience that God has allowed you to go through and come out better on the other side, you're supposed to share that and tell people how you've had healed and gotten through an experience that you thought was meant to take you out, okay? So that other people can gain that knowledge and use those gifts and talents for themselves, okay? That's basically what they're saying, okay? Look at what nourishes and empowers you, and in some similar way, transfer that into what it is you do out in the world, and that's exactly what I do, okay? For me, the strongest vibrations were healthy foods that made me feel nourished and cared for, and friends who loved me, all of me, for who I was. So that also goes back into my story. When I started realizing that I was awakening, you guys, I was about 350 pounds, okay? And I realized, well, my doctors told me, Ms. Smith, if you don't, do something about this, you're not going to be here. And I had 4 small children at the time, okay? And so I went home that day when they told me that, and I threw away everything in my cabinets. We started over. I started planning how to cook better for my family, threw away certain things that I grew up on myself, even ways of cooking food, okay? I changed it. I started researching, and I started to heal myself. I'm still not at my goal weight, but I am at 170 now, after all that time. And I just want to let you know, it starts from the inside out. That's why I'm saying this. You can't just try to heal your mind. You have to heal your mind, body, and spirit. And when you use a coach, or you, like I do in my sessions with my coaching clients, I do mind, body, spirit. You cannot not exercise. You cannot change the way that you see food or your eating habits. You cannot, okay? It's not just your spirit that you got to heal. You got to heal everything, all right? Through inviting guests so I try to offer these things to others. Through inviting guests to my home to eat a healing meal I prepare with love, and aspiring to be the kind of nurturing friend that I so value and needed on my journey while soul searching. Same, I didn't have anyone around me that was on a healing journey, that was awakening. I was the one who was awakening, and I was supposed to, and I realized, help awaken other people, okay? And it's not easy, because some people don't want to see themselves, because we didn't want to see ourselves at one point in time, until you get sick of yourself, okay? Sick of doing the same thing over and over again, and still feeling the same way and not seeing any forward movement, okay? So you become who people need you to be, because you're being the person that you needed. You're the hero in your own story, okay? You're becoming the person. I'm sorry about that, y'all. It wasn't even supposed to do that. I apologize, y'all. You're becoming the person that you needed when you were growing up, that wasn't around to help you to heal, because most likely those people weren't healing their trauma. They were living in it, and they passed it on to you, okay? So what you do is learning those things that help you heal, learning those talents and gifts that you have been given to help inspire other people to see themselves differently. You teach other people that, or you give from your heart, you give from your spirit, so that people know it's true, it's honest, okay? People aren't always going to like everything about you, but they will accept you, especially if they love you. Now, you're going to have those people who don't, and that's okay. They're not necessarily meant to be in your life. It's okay to cut people off. It's okay to let people go. Vibrational awareness will allow you to stay in tune with what serves people and what harms people. Keep working through your current path, and in spite of any unharmonious forces that may appear, remain kind, compassionate, and decent towards others. Keep a pure heart in the world. As a conduit or a vessel, you're able to contribute to and operate from a separate higher place, and that's the essential part. Practice being kind and courteous when you usually wouldn't be. Give a compliment when you would typically hold back. Do a good deed for someone. You would be surprised at telling someone that's walking down the street, "You look good." I mean, really meaning it too. If you are secure within yourself, you find it easy to give compliments to other people. Thank you so much for sharing my love, and thank y'all for the follows, okay? If you are someone who is genuinely kind and you have been hurt by those and used by those who are not, who just use people just to use people, you will feel a space of where you should hold that back, but don't. Don't get, what does the Bible say? Don't get weary in good doing, okay? Don't get weary with that, because it's going to reach somebody that it needs to reach. Don't ever feel like, I wish I would have seen this situation the way it was going to turn out before I put all this energy into this person, because that person needed it at the time, okay? Don't ever feel like your energy is wasted, because God, Spirit, Buddha, Allah, Source, Universe, whatever you call it, sees you and knows that you're giving from your heart, being understanding. You get that back. You may feel like you lost something, but you learned something from that person or from that experience. All right? Practice being kind and courteous when you usually wouldn't. Give a compliment when you would typically hold back. Do a good deed for someone. Hold open a door or an elevator for a stranger. Walk, talk, and act with deep integrity. Serve others with your whole heart and mean it. Show up for someone in need. Help others in sadness, aloneness, grief, or distress. Attend to others, but don't attend so much that you're not giving to yourself. See, a lot of us givers overgive, and we're so used to being the one that overgives and gives and gives, and no one is reciprocating that. But this book walks you through that step. It walks you through being able to tell those energies who are just in your energy to take from you and not to reciprocate that same energy. You can tell when you're around those types of people because you feel drained. You might get a headache. You might, even through a text, you might be like, I don't really want to talk to this person. And if you're feeling that way, you need to pull your energy back. There's nothing wrong with that. Your body and your mind is just telling you this isn't someone that you need to have a close connection with. This is someone that you need to kind of have at a distance. There's nothing wrong with caring and loving for people at a distance, especially when you're trying to heal yourself and someone's, whatever they got going on, is triggering you, okay? Be okay with seeing that trigger. Find out what that trigger's all about for you as well, okay? Just be a beautiful vessel out in the world. Be glorious. Be the hands and ears of the divine here on earth, because that's what we're put here to do. A lot of people get stuck in the fact that they think that the world revolves around them, when there's so many other people who need the talent, the gift that you have. And some of us, it's just the gift of talking something out. You would be surprised of just having a conversation with someone, how it can boost their energy, how it can boost their vibe. But again, be wary of those, be mindful of those who just only want to be in your energy to uplift themselves and don't ever want to pour back into you. There's nothing wrong with having a small circle at all, okay? It's actually very freeing, okay? We got tender zones. We're on page 178 now. A common thing that can happen when you embrace your role as a beacon is that you want everyone to heal, grow, and transform alongside of you and in your time frame. But be easy now. Give everyone time and space. This is essential. Okay? Although you may plant the seeds, everyone grows and learns in their own timing. Understand that everyone has their season, and everyone's season isn't going to be when your season is. Some of you could be it right now in a season of growth and flourishing, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, as they like to call it. But you had your season where people were still constantly watering into you. God would send this person and that person to teach you a lesson or give you some type of an experience where you didn't have the experience in. I know we don't always see it like that because we look at it as negative. Well, why did this person treat me like that? Or why did this person have to do me like that, talk to me like that, or be like that? But you learned through that. So don't ever feel like that was a waste or that you should be begrudgingly holding a grudge because you learned something from someone else who's just on a path just like you are, okay? Sometimes we forget that people are human and they're not perfect. Mom, dad, sister, brother, kids, whatever. We have to give grace, especially since we're all not perfect. None of us are, okay? If you force them, they can grow and unfold prematurely. Remember, we're in a garden. Keep nurturing and planting seeds without forcing others to grow or to flower before their appointed time. You can only control yourself. There are some people who have to go through the same lessons so that they can get it. It's not your job to make someone learn a lesson. It's not your job to take care of everyone. If you've planted the seed and you realize that this person isn't getting it, move on. God's going to send someone else their way to help water that. If they will receive the water, let them drink. Let them drink from other people's fountains. You ain't got to be the only one that's trying to help somebody, okay? Because there in yourself, you can lose yourself trying to help someone see their potential, okay, and grow. You can lose yourself doing that, okay? And I've been through relationships where I have, including with ex-lovers, your own family, your own children. You got to watch it. Always, sometimes you got to let people go for them to get it, okay? Nurture, never force. Living your life as a beacon is the best teacher, support, and inspiration for others. Your consistent actions express and penetrate more than your words are able to. Your consistent actions express and penetrate more than your words are able to. In other words, I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay? Remember, even with your kids, they are sponges. Even when they're little, even when they're older, they're watching you. Anything that you put out there as an example, they're going to see it, especially if it's repeated. Okay? That's with anybody. You're teaching people how to treat you when you repeatedly stand for disrespect or mistreatment. Okay? People see that you're okay with that. They'll take advantage and they'll keep doing that. So at some point in time, you got to pull your energy back and say, okay, yeah, no, I see what you're doing. We're not going to keep that going. You need to figure this out on your own. I understand there are no hard feelings. Again, don't be begrudging with people, okay? All of us are not on the same path, and all of us are not learning the same lessons at the same time, all right? As flowers unfolding right in divine time without needing to be forced, the people around you will soak in your nourishing actions like water and light. Their process will be unique like yours was, but it will undoubtedly be helped by your graceful, mindful actions. Start by leading by example. I just said this. And then once the people around you reach a certain level in their growth process, you can use more grit and inspirational fire with them. They'll have tougher and deeper roots in the ground and will be able to withstand more and more inspirational impact. It's amazing that she's talking about flowers and roots and watering and stuff when I just told you guys about my nonprofit called Blossom and Grow. Everybody is not going to get, their roots aren't going to catch right away when you start watering them. Some people need a little bit more water than others. But again, it's not your job to do all the watering into someone. Because what happens? Your pot gets empty. You still need to have water poured into you. Okay? But if you're constantly around the same people who just want to suck you dry, okay, you're going to end up dry and not have nothing to give. You got to make sure that you're giving from your overflow, not from what's in your cup, but what is coming out of your cup. Okay? Again, that's that talent, that gift, that spirit, God, Buddha, Allah, universe, source, whatever you call it, has blessed you with. Okay? And people see that in you before you see it in you. And that's why some people stick around. They want to stay around you and use what you got. Okay? Some people, they do it on purpose. Some people, they don't even realize that they're doing it. But you have to realize that it's time for me to pull my energy back. Okay? Keep in mind that we aren't adopting or taking a problematic mindset of dominance and over control into the world, but one of graceful harmony and compassion. Through various collective and cultural pains, as a world, we know where we've been and can now collectively determine to put our energy, efforts, work, and vibration toward the places where we desire to see higher vibrations. It's happening daily. Spirit dance in order here. So take heart. Being a conduit or a vessel of good energy and a positive influence for others doesn't mean others will transform immediately. I just said this. The timing of the divine is never too slow, and we benefit all concerned when we harmonize with this divine timing. This allows us, so what I'm getting is, some of us feel like we have missed our mark, that we have gotten upper in age and we should have been doing this. You become what you're supposed to become in God's time. This is not about what you think you're supposed to be doing. You know, we all had those dreams when we were in high school. Oh, I'm going to get married by the time I'm 25 and have 2.5 children. Have a white picket fence and a husband or whatever. You know, society feeds that into you, constantly feeds it into you, what you're supposed to have, when you're supposed to have it, who's supposed to, you're supposed to show it to, you know, all of that. They have it all worked out for you, okay? And God's like, you thought, all right, I got different plans for you. I got purpose for you, and you're going to need to go through some things for me to get you straightened out, okay? Because you thinking wrong, all right? And so God lets you experience this and experience that, and you're like, ouch, 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 ouch. But God will come and pick you up, dust you off, and be like, are you okay? Okay, let's go back to it, all right? You have to understand that just because you think it's your time, it doesn't mean that that's what God thinks, okay? God wants to show you things, wants to show you people, wants to bring you into a space where you see yourself better than what the world sees you, because the world just wants you to go, 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 go. They don't want you to rest. They don't want you to be a person, an individual. What? An individual? They don't want you to do that, okay? They want you to be a slave to what they want you to think, what they want you to feel, what they want you to buy, all of it, okay? And then some of us start going through stuff and start seeing things very differently. That's what this awakening, this great awakening that's happening, that's what it's all about. It's about you realizing I didn't go through that for nothing. I didn't go through all that shit for nothing. This is why I was meant to go through. Because I'm supposed to be helping other people heal what they think is already healed. And a lot of people do not like to look at themselves and say, ooh, I could have did that better. I could have acted better over that. Ooh, I shouldn't have did that. Lord have mercy. What was I thinking? Okay? A lot of people don't want to do that. But that's what this awakening is all about. You realizing, dang, I thought that I was doing the damn thing, but I really wasn't. I was out here messing shit up. Messing myself up. Okay? That's what this is all about. It's about you realizing, yeah. So don't ever think that you're late. You're not late. You're right on time. Okay? Thank y'all for the follows. Where are we at? So take heart. Being a conduit of good energy and a positive influence for others doesn't mean that others will transform immediately. The timing of the divine is never too slow, and we benefit all concerned when we harmonize with this divine timing. This allows us to live in a higher state of peace, awareness, and power, even when we aren't in agreement with the path or vibrational state of those around us. Understanding that those around you are not supposed to be in the same vibrational state as you. We're all on different paths, learning things differently, according to where God wants to take us on that path. I used to think that I was supposed to have a certain thing going on in my life at a certain time. And as I started awakening, I realized I'm right on time, because now the great awakening is happening and more people understand where I'm coming from. More people want to hear what I have to say. But when I was talking this stuff back 10, 15 years ago, people looking at me strange, like, who is this? What are they talking about? But now that I am in this era of time, there's people being drawn to me that need the talents and the gifts that I have. And that's what's happening with all of us. You have to realize that, though, because we be thinking, oh, I'm late. I should have been had this confirmation with the beeps outside. I should have been had this going on in my life. I should have been doing this. I should have been making this type of money. I should have been learning this. I should have been in school. I should have been. No. It happens when it's supposed to happen. Okay? So don't let people make you feel like you're slow or you're late. Don't ever let people make you feel that way. All right? But people will. They will, because they got theirs earlier than you. You might even see some people as more successful than you because they got theirs earlier than you. But it was meant for them to awaken or to grow whatever they were growing back then. Yours is different. Yours is right on time. Okay? Where was I? Oh, okay. I finished that. Okay. I'm going to read one more page, you guys. And then I'm going to go back to page 38 or 39, whichever we're on, for the assessment questions. We're going to do an assessment question, a reflection time question, okay? And see where we are, all right? It says, pour from a full cup. What the fuck did I say? Okay. I know that we're talking about God and all that stuff in here, but I do curse, and I'm still going to be the person that I am. So if that offends you, you might want to scroll on. I am who I am, all right? Pour from a full cup. Give from your overflow. You do not give from what's already inside your cup, okay? If you halfway and you know that you're the person, you're always the one people come to. They always come to you because they know you have a good heart. They know that you can put yourself in other people's shoes. They know that you've been through some experiences. These same people gonna come to you when you're half full, when you need someone to pour into you and expect you to give that half that you have, or at least half of that half. You better not. Hopefully you've been learning that along the way, that you are needing to give back to yourself for a while, have people pour into you for a while. So when it gets up to that full, then you can be like, okay, all right, now where is the work at? Where do we need to go? Where do I need to be seen? Okay? Pour from a full cup. As conduits, of high vibrations and purpose, we must make sure to restore and nurture ourselves along the way. This doesn't mean simply checking with yourself from time to time. It means taking time and making space for ourselves in the earliness of our mornings, midday, and again at day's end. You can vibrate, you can get yourself your vibration together before you even put your foot over the bed and get in there to brush your teeth and wash your face. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Buddha, Allah, Source. I don't care what you call it, okay? For waking me up this morning. Close your eyes and have some time with God before you do that. Get yourself centered, because that is how you start your day, and that's what predicts your day, okay? If you get up and you just in a rush, and I'm doing it, I don't care if you got to get up 15, 20 minutes earlier just to have that talk or that centering, that meditation, that breath work, whatever it is, go there first. Go there first. Don't jump into action right away. I'm telling you, that's the way your day is going to be. All right? Since nothing is new under the sun, we can rediscover the ancient practice and wisdom of mindfulness as a tool for refilling our cup. Mindfulness, and that's the breath work, and that is the meditation. There's nothing wrong with that. Prayer, put it all together, okay? Because prayer is when you're talking to God. Meditation is when you're listening. Because sometimes we need to shut up and listen, okay? Mindfulness is transformative because it calls us to be aware not only of ourselves, but of everything around us. It dissolves the boundary between self and the outside world. It's a tool we can use to deepen, balance, and inform our work as beacons in the world. We often associate mindfulness with modern times, but the ancient Egyptians, known as the Kemites or the Kemites, had a mindfulness practice that is a beautiful model for us. Each morning, the Kemites would set their spiritual and character intentions before heading out into the world. At night, they would then reflect on each one of their intentions to gauge how balanced and aligned they remained that day. This practice, still honored and used today by many, is known as the 42 Laws of Ma'at, M-A''A'-T. Ma'at is the goddess or the god of giving and receiving, equally balanced, okay? If you're not familiar with Ma'at, make sure you look it up, M-A''A'-T. Ma'at is revered as the ancient Comedian Egyptian goddess of justice, harmony, and balance. And the concept of Ma'at represents right attitude, balance, and keeping a pure heart. Many faiths have similar practices to keep and support people on the path of right action, balance, fortification, and being pure in heart while living and interacting in the world. You can be in the world and not be of the world, okay? And I know that a lot of people are like, well, how do I do that, especially in the environment that I live in? But creating your own in your home, your sanctuary, wherever you're staying, is important to how you live your life outside of that home. If you allow things to come into your home and disrupt it and be chaotic, that's what you're going to deal with on the outside. But if this is your sacred space in your home and you keep it that way, clean, and you keep it orderly, you keep it peaceful, that is what you're going to take out into the world. And that's what people are going to see. That's that example. All right? This is a form of vibrational awareness. How are you staying mindful or gauging your own balance, actions, heart, and vibration in the world? We're going to stop it here, you guys, on 185. But I am going to go back to pages 139, I believe it is. 39. Yes. And we're going to look over the reflection time questions. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely put them in the chat. If you want to know a little bit more about my background, you could definitely, I saw a lot of people following. So if you want to know more about my background, or you want to know more about the services, about Blossom and Grow and the Social Seeds podcast, I'm willing to answer them. But I like to go back over our reflection time questions. I hope that you guys are enjoying the reading and the explanation of Vibrate Higher Daily. We are almost done, you guys. We're on page 185, and there's like 200 pages in this book. So we're almost done, but I do want to let you guys know that the next book we're going to do is Limitless Thinking, Limitless Living, okay? Helping us to open our mind. It does reference the Bible a lot in this book. I'm not going to lie to you about that, okay? It references the Bible a lot in this book because it was written by an evangelist, okay? But it's very good, and it makes a lot of sense, okay? I'm glad you are. You are getting better and better. Thank you so much, Delight. I really appreciate you so much, all right? All right, so we are on page 39. Where did we go? We were in... Okay, so question 5 on page 39. In what areas of your life do you feel a calling to transform and live in a higher way? Anyone want to answer that question? I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm glad that you guys are finding that it is a part of something that you want to be of. We will have several books that we're going to be reading over the summer. I am going to make sure that you guys get a list of those. I'm going to make sure that you get a picture. I will post about them. Spirit is asking me to do more live podcasts with you guys for the social seeds here. And again, I do have other businesses here on TikTok that I do spiritual guidance. I do spiritual readings, energy readings for people. I am a spiritual coach. My specialty is trauma, helping people to heal their trauma. So if you're ever interested, you can DM me here. You can also email me at staceylinell14@gmail.com. And if you would like the spelling of that, are any of my moderators in here? Queen Lifestyles, could you please put up my staceylinell14@gmail.com? Hello, I need a little help, okay? You guys have to tell me more about what you want help in. I do cost. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is my livelihood. This is one of my businesses. But if you need help with learning how to be more mindful, do breath work, meditation, I do that. I also have a friend who is a yogi over in India, but he also does mobile meditation with people. His name is Sanji. I had him on here on the Social Seeds podcast about 3 or 4 weeks ago, where we talked about different things. We do want to do another podcast about addictions and how to help yourself conquer your addictions as well, okay? Taming my emotions. Okay. Okay. You feel like that's an area that you feel a calling to transform in a higher way. Good. Okay. Okay. Good. For me, a calling to transform and live in a higher way. I still want to say, education-wise, you know, the world makes you feel like you have to go to college and learn that way. I am learning that I don't need college to learn some of the things that I want to learn. Um, my education comes from me constantly reading, constantly being in a space where I'm open to different subjects. Is helping me to vibrate higher. And I'm realizing um, that your librarians and your English teachers are onto something. I do have a minor in English. Um, I also have a minor in philosophy, and I majored in social work and actually political science. I was a double major and a double minor. And because I felt the call to help my community. I didn't know in what capacity, but I did feel that call. And I feel like I did so much as a social worker, but I never really got to the root of people's problems. And because I had such a huge caseload, I could never really affect my clients the way that I wanted to. And now that I have my own businesses and I'm able to affect them the way that I want to, where in their lives they need me to, I find so much freedom in that. But I continue to educate myself. So that is one of the things that I'm learning that I need to transform is education, how I see education, not just for me, but for those around me, and where we need to learn from and how we need to learn it. I definitely feel like unlearning was one of the things that we all still kind of go through. As you continue your walk in your spiritual life, you will learn that there are so many things that you were conditioned to believe and expect. As you unlearn and recondition and reparent yourself, you'll realize that it was about limiting you. It was the thinking. That's why we're going to do the limitless thinking. Okay, the limitless living. Because you can do and be anyone that you decide to be, okay? And I feel like it's very important for us to realize that we have that power inside of us. Good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. It is important for us to realize we have everything we need inside of us. You are not separate from anything in the world that you want to be or what you want. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's definitely, what are you doing with it? You know, a lot of people like to say, well, money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. The people that try to control what people do with it or how it's spent and where they're spending it can become evil. Okay, what people are spending it on, that's where it can root into evil. Okay, but there's nothing wrong with wanting more. There's nothing wrong with seeing yourself in a higher state of being, because you can bless more people when you have a limitless way of living your life. Like, I know a lot of people look at the way that I'm living my life and they're probably wondering, how in the world? And it's because I believe that God is going to provide for me. God has already showed that to me in my life over and over again. If you let this go, if you let that go, if you don't do this and you don't do that, I'll bless you with what you really deserve and what you desire to really have in your life. It's not easy. I'm not saying by any means is it easy to live the life that I'm living, but I learned to depend on God and God only for what I need in my life, because God's the only one that's never left me or led me astray. Okay. And it, like, again, it's not easy, but I find that I'm at a bigger space of peace and understanding because of being able to just let it flow in the way that it's supposed to flow in, and not putting blocks up to keep certain things out, but to allow what I need to learn to flow through me so that I can accept it however I need to. Blessings and things that we see as lessons as well. All right? I hope that made sense. All right, you guys, if no one has any questions, if no one has anything to add, I'm going to end this live. Okay, I didn't expect to be on here this long. It seems like we're getting longer on the lives over here, which is probably a good thing because I'm seeing that we're drawing in more people into the live that need to hear this. Okay, I'm glad you came in. I'm going to add you as a moderator here, Teresa. All right? You're very welcome. Very welcome. If there's anything that you guys want me to talk about, speak on, even in the midst of us reading the books, we can take a break from a book and talk on that subject. But I need to know. So you can DM me or you can email me at stacylinelle14@gmail.com. And let me know what you want to hear me talk on or give information about. I did see that you guys are talking about emotions and unlearning certain things. We can definitely talk about that. And on one of the lives, I will get some material together to talk with you guys about that. Okay? You're very welcome. I will be giving classes this summer on here. Well, they'll be Zoom classes, and you'll see me post them up to talk about different areas of your life that you can work on, that you need to heal and stuff. You'll be able to take the classes. I feel like the most one class will be is probably like $23. I'm not going to charge a lot for those classes, okay? It's the week classes that I will charge for, like when they're 6 weeks long and stuff of that nature. I will charge more for. But when they're just a day session, I will definitely keep it at a minimum so that you guys can get the classes that you guys want to learn more about, get more in-depth insight into. All right? So make sure that you guys DM me. Let me know what you want to talk on, what you want to hear about, what you want a how-to on. All right? Give me how-to ideas. Whatever you would like to hear me talk about, I'm open, okay? All right, you guys. I'm going to let you go. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Remember, I do have subscriptions over here. For those of you who subscribe over here, you'll add on to some of the things that you want to do with me privately, okay? Over here. More of a one-on-one with me if you do the subscriptions over here, okay? So if you want some one-on-one time and you looking at my prices for my coaching and you're like, then you can get if you're becoming a subscriber over here, you can get a little bit more one-on-one with me as a subscriber, okay? All right, you guys. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you for the follows. Bye.